Hi guys, welcome back to week 6. Believe this, we are more than halfway now and done into the class. We're past halfway mark. Hey, we got let's see, week 6 in ENV101 environmental science, guys. That's where I'm at. Wow, I'm sleepy. All right, so this week what I would like for you to do is there is a link in the please read the following reading assignments for week 6 is the history of agriculture. So click on that link, please. It will take you to a web page and you can read about the history of agriculture. I would also like for you to watch the video that I posted there. It's TEDx Talk, Quality Water and Future Generations. That's very important. There's been several good documentaries actually on quality of water. And boy, there was a lengthy one. It's like a 2-hour documentary on about the West Coast and Mexico and how the Colorado is, for a huge population, the only source of water for thousands of miles all the way down through Mexico, and how when that runs dry and the water level is dropping, and as that water table drops, more and more farms go out of business because they cannot any longer support the farm because through irrigation. So they've got some really cool. I'll see if I can find some links, and if you guys want to watch that, it's pretty important. Pretty tough stuff sometimes to watch and see what's happening to not just our country but other countries as well. And to be honest with you, Mexico gets our leftover water from the Colorado. So kind of weird, scary stuff. But anyway, that's your reading assignments. I want you to make sure you read the history of agriculture and then also watch the video about water quality and future generations. Then we have got a discussion this week. What I would like for you to do is to think about the #1 waste or pollution problem faced in the United States. There are some things. What are some of the things that we can do to address the concerns that we have in waste and pollution problems in the United States? There's some serious ones out there. I'm going to bring up Yucca Flats. It's something if you want to get a jump on. Let's take a look at that. But I'll in the discussion this week, I will bring up Yucca Flats and see what we can kick around there. But anyway, there's some serious issues going on with pollution and some issues that really need to be addressed. And we are. And like everything else, it takes time, it takes money to solve problems that shouldn't have existed in the first place, but they do, and that's just how life is, unfortunately. Now, we have to at least we realize that there was a problem. And you know, some of you are probably way too young. Some of you might be, if you're my age, you remember this, but there was this big scare about ozone back in the 70s, about the ozone layer is depleting and the ozone's going to go away, and if that goes away, you know, then we're all going to die and it's all going to be a bad thing. And the ozone layer is just an incredibly thin layer in the atmosphere, and it filters out a lot of bad things, radiation, UV radiation, and so forth that comes down from the sun. Without that ozone layer, you know, we'd be in bad shape. So the ozone was depleting. They tried to figure out why, but it turned out to be the aerosol in the cans, the CFCs, which is a chemical. Chlorofluoral hydrocarbon something anyway. But anyway, what was happening is back in the 70s and 60s and 50s, you know, you buy a can of hairspray or a can of spray on deodorant, or you may not even know that spray on deodorant even existed, but there used to be spray on deodorant instead of the stick, the roll-on ball, and so forth. But anyway, all those cans, from degreasers, any kind of spray can, spray paint, hairspray, anything had a propellant in there. They'd pressurize the can, so when you push to the top, the spray would come out of the can, right? We still have spray cans, but they no longer have CFCs in there that would deplete the ozone. It got so bad that there was actually holes in the ozone. And they would show that on satellite photos of the hole in the ozone. They could actually monitor the ozone and how thick it was in certain areas, and over the poles, the ozone actually disappeared. So we actually had holes in our ozone until worldwide we banned CFCs. No longer could anybody manufacture CFCs. Once they did that, the ozone layer actually started repairing itself. And today it is in fantastic shape. Not 100%, but a whole lot better. The holes have repaired themselves. It's gotten more thick. So we have created damage to the earth, and we have shown that we are able to repair it through limitations and penalties and so forth. So it was a big push throughout the 80s, throughout the early 80s. I remember so vividly that you had to buy cans that said no CFC in it. Everybody got behind it, and it was a big deal to make sure that you didn't buy cans that had that kind of propellant in it. And if you did, you got rid of it because you didn't want to let that out into the atmosphere and destroy the ozone even more. So it was a very interesting time. It was a big success. We are still working on it. Look it up. I'll see if I can find some videos of the ozone layer and so forth and put those in the discussions. So with that being said, your second part of your project is due this week as well. So we need to make sure that you get that in here. And this is part 2 of the 3 assignments that you have, 3-part project that you have in this course. Part 2 of your project is research 3 articles on environmental change, what the future holds. The first one, if you remember, were 3 articles that you did annotated bibliography for, on 3 articles of last 100 years of the environment. Now you're going to be doing 3 articles, annotated bibliography, 3 articles of what the future holds. So that's what you're doing. That's due this week. Please make sure you read the instructions, just like you did on the first one. And be prepared and save your work. Make sure you save your work. You're going to need it for your final project, due in week 9, 3 weeks. All right, guys, let's get to it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a text, shout out, any way, and we'll go from there. All right, let's have a great week.